Right now I'm learning Japanese and Spanish, while also keeping my English active. The problem is I have a full-time job. So the big question is, how do you keep learning languages when you barely have time? In this video, I want to show you how I currently handle my languages with very limited time. What still works, what I stopped doing, and how I try to keep my languages alive. At the moment, my language situation looks like this. I'm actively learning Spanish and Japanese. Spanish is currently my main focus because I want to improve one language faster so I can focus more on the more difficult one later. Japanese is a long-term project I started years ago. My native language is German, so that obviously takes care of itself. I'm also maintaining English, which I use quite often. And then there are a few languages that are currently paused or that I only dabbled in. Dutch, Thai, and Toki Pona. Especially Toki Pona taught me something interesting. If you don't know a word, you can often just describe the idea in a simpler way. But honestly, that's the main thing it taught me. The biggest challenge is simply time. When you work full-time, it's very difficult to spend hours studying languages every day, even if your work hours are predictable. At the beginning of my language learning journey, I tried to follow very structured, strict study routines. But eventually I realized that this simply doesn't fit into my life anymore, especially during the busy month at work, which for me are March, May, September and October. So instead of trying to do everything perfectly, I had to switch to something much simpler, at least during those months. My current strategy is basically low maintenance language learning. Instead of doing long study sessions, I focus on 4 small things. First, short study sessions. Even 10 or 15 minutes can be useful if you do it consistently. Second, passive exposure. Listening to podcasts, watching videos, or reading small things in the language. Third, rotating focus. I don't try to push all languages forward at the same time. Fourth, consistency. I try to do something in one of my languages every day. Right now, my active languages are Spanish and Japanese. Spanish gets more attention at the moment because it's easier for me to use and I progress faster. Japanese is more of a long-term project. I started learning it years ago and progress is much slower. But that's okay. One thing that helped me a lot was actually stopping certain things. For example, I stopped trying to learn too many languages at the same time. I stopped trying to follow complicated study systems. I stopped feeling guilty when I can't study every single day. And I stopped doing daily reading in every language. Language learning is a long journey. Sometimes progress is fast, sometimes it's slow. Interestingly, even a language like Toki Pona, which I'm not actively studying anymore, taught me something useful. The language has a very small vocabulary, so if you don't know a word, you simply describe the concept with simpler words. And that mindset is actually helpful in many languages. For me, language learning is not about speed anymore. It's more about keeping the door open to different languages and cultures. Even small steps can keep a language alive or help it slowly grow over time. I'm curious, how do you learn languages when you don't have much time? Let me know in the comments.